What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 37, and in this one, we're going to be finishing off the cart quarters. We're getting all the final details in. I do apologize you got hit with these back-to-back parts that were both like 50 minutes, just because I went so long last part. I had such a weird amount of stuff left for this one, and it just kind of ended up being 50 minutes. But yeah, either way, that is all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Wow, only 7 parts for this segment. That's kind of crazy. Alright, so we should have this from, I don't even know anymore, whenever the last part would have been. So I want to start by kind of just clearing up some of the little details that we just didn't do in the end of the last part, because I got a little bit too carried away, apparently. And just kind of, we're going to run through once more and do everything else that we missed, because there's a couple areas I don't even think we got to. And then we're going to do pipes, vents, and just kind of work from there, I guess. So you want to start by getting on the following materials. You want polished basalt, levers, sea lanterns, glow item frames, nether brick fence, I guess. It's kind of a weird one, but warp slabs, polished blackstone stairs, gray concrete, and we'll go dark oak trapdoors. So, if you start at the end here, like the opening where Barry will eventually be situated along with the pathway where, you kind of just goes off into nowhere. If you just kind of start walking towards the area we were working on, like, a couple parts back, which would be, I guess, the area you'd come from. The left side on each of these 3-block yellow walls at eye level, like between the archways, you're going to at eye level place a polished basalt facing up and down with a lever off of it. Leave a gap of 1 moving up from it and place a sea lantern in the yellow wool there with a glow item frame off of it like so. There's not really much in these hallways particularly that we have to worry about, although I do want to come to the next one where if you look to your right you have that cyan terracotta wall with the button on it, and on the left there's yellow over there. And if you are in this area, you want to kind of look at the center and find the look at the top and find these center cyan terracotta. From it, you want to count left and right by 2 and place a nether brick fence on either block. You should be 1 off the sides. Extend them down by 1, and then you'll place an upside down, or right? Upside down warp slab off of them? Yeah. This will be the top half, or the bottom half, excuse me, of the zigzag, and you want to just do a, zigzag pattern of warp slabs. So off the left and right of this bottom nether brick fence on both sides, you'll place warp slabs, and then you'll have an upside down warp slab down diagonally between those. That does say cart corridors in the game. Obviously, I have like 7 blocks to for like 15 letters, so that just isn't happening. In this area, you can turn to the right and start looking this way, and if you just start to head to it, you want to, on this archway, go to the right side and place an upside down polished blackstone stair off the white facing away. Facing into that, you'll place another upside down polished blackstone stair just kind of, I guess, in front of it or towards you from it, whatever. On the original upside down stair, you'll place a warp slab. Then count up to the first yellow where you'll place a gray concrete with a dark oak trapdoor both above and below it. Really overstuffed Oreo. In this little divot here, you want to take the left wall, and you're going to leave the first cyan terracotta open, but the second one you'll place a row of nether brick fences on. Come back to the corner and then over to the right block and place another row of nether brick fences there. Clear your inventory, and we want to get out a couple things. You want dark oak fences, mangrove trapdoors, iron bars, and iron trapdoors. And the original fences we placed on the left, just behind them, you'll place a row of dark oak fences. On that front row, nether brick fences at eye level, you'll place a mangrove trapdoor open up against that one. Now, all the doorways have gates. Not all of them, but some of them. I'll go through kind of methodically and tell you which ones do and don't. For them, I'll take really whatever row makes sense. It doesn't matter particularly, but I'm going to go the, inside, or generally it's the way you would come to the gate to have to open it from that side. You'd put it on the opposite block. So essentially, for this side, for this one here, you would put it on the inside of, closest to this room here, just because, yeah. So you're placing iron bars at the top 2 rows of the archway, like so. And then off the underside of those iron bars, you're placing iron trapdoors, like so. And that's what we're doing for all of them. You could go down another block on some if you wanted, it doesn't really matter. But, so, if I head out of this area or turn around and then head to the right, I believe it's the second archway, the final one here will have iron bars. This is actually on the near side, so I guess it'd be the side you would originally see it from. I don't really know. It just kind of pick and choose, honestly. And then you're going to head around to where the exit would be, and then you'll head left kind of to the kissy hallway. And I believe it's the middle one that has a... It might be the back too, actually. It very well might be the back too. Hold on, I went the wrong way. It's just the middle one, yeah. And I actually have had top 3 rows with the iron bars on this one. Just because this one doesn't actually open all the way. It just like opens enough for you to go under it. But yeah. And then you'll keep heading through. Head left. And I believe it will be on the far side of this. There's one on the last 2 arches. So essentially beyond the train tracks, you're leaving this one open. And then it's these 2. At the top 2 rows with iron bars and etc. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. I have a Twitch stream to do after this, so I'm recording this like not mega early, but earlier than normal. There are no more if you follow this pathway until you get to the other side of the train tracks. Again, it'll be the second one. Over here. Sick. That might be the last one. I feel like there is one here, no? Yeah, there's one on the, like, innermost one, just before the train tracks. And I might put this one on the opposite side, actually. So it's further away from the tracks themselves. That might be a logical way to go about it, too. I don't know. I kind of make it up as I go. As for in the, like, center here, it's really just on the back most of each of the sets of 2. Well, kind of. So if you are where you are right now... You're going to head backwards, and again, you're going to leave this first arch open. This one has iron bars at the top 2 rows, with the trapdoors, of course. And then you're going to skip the next arch, which would be here, and then the one after, you'll have iron bars again, and the final one won't. So, yeah. This is going to be the really annoying part, is doing all of the vents and stuff on the ceiling. So I'm going to try to make this the best I can. You can clear your inventory, and you want to get out the following. You want polished andesite slabs, polished blackstone slabs, I know are needed at some point, nether brick fence, lanterns, sea lanterns, spruce trapdoors, and I want to say you're just going to need polished andesite stairs and polished blackstone stairs. For something. So if you start at the, again, entrance of this from this little area here, you want to... It's going to be annoying, I guess. You want to, like, basically just look up, and at the right side of this doorway, you're placing a polished blackstone slab in the corner here. It's going to be a half a block off the ceiling. You'll extend it left one, back one, left one, and then you're going to bring it all the way back until you are 1 block short of the warp slabs for the, like, cart corridors sign. And so it'll be right here. You'll then extend right one, back one, and then you will have to break this nether brick fence here, but you're gonna, from that point, just extend these all the way right until you hit the wall. We'll worry more about this one later with the lighting as we come back here later. But yeah. Speaking of lighting, though, you can actually come to the original one, because I know there is a light here. It's like the first singular slab going backward. You're placing a nether brick fence either side of it with a sea lantern below. You're connecting the sea lanterns together, and as per usual, you're surrounding them in spruce trapdoors to give you this. Kind of a basic light, but I mean, it works, so can't really ever complain. Now, a block behind this light, you're placing upside down polished andesite, or 2 rows of upside down polished andesite slabs kind of along the ceiling, both left and right of the polished blackstone, just a bit for now. So you will have a gap between, which is fine. You don't really want to worry about that too much, but Yeah, just like over the polished black stone. It's kind of hard to see, but it is definitely there. You do want to continue bringing these polished andesite slabs, though, all the way right until you should have, where the fence splits into 2 rows, you have this row of 4 right here. It's 1 block off the ceiling. You're going to actually end when you're halfway through that, so like so. And that might be the most random way possible to be like, here's where you're ending, but also, like, it works. So. I'm not going to complain. You want to, from the end here, connect only the end row into that, like, wall there. So I guess back by 3. You'll take the backmost 4 polished andesite slabs and extend them right by 1. And you'll also place one kind of on the inner corner here, so it just thickens it out a little bit. The rightmost row of slabs, you'll take the, I guess, front one, which is this one, and place a nether brick fence to the right. Extend it down with a sea lantern and extend that sea lantern left by 2 and surround it with spruce trapdoors as per usual. I'm not going to go over this next step a ton, because, as in each time we have to do it, because we do have to do it a lot, but I'll mention it briefly. Above the leftmost sea lantern, sometimes you won't be able to connect it to the top with fences. You want to actually replace the slab with an upside down stair that faces essentially away from the center of the light, so the stair part will connect kind of just inside it a bit, like so. You'll, again, be seeing that a lot, so do just kind of keep that in mind. There's so many things going on here. Head to the right to the doorway. Like, I don't think it's a doorway. It's textured like the doorway, but I think it's just like a sign above the, again, exit point here. And you want to take the back 2 rows of it, this light gray and this yellow terracotta, and extend them each left with 6 upside down polished andesite slabs. Extend the back row left an additional 1. And then those end 2 I'll bring back by like 3 blocks. Again, place an additional upside down slab in the corner. And these 2 upside down slab rows can be brought all the way back until you eventually will hit a wall. It will take you a little while, but you'll get there eventually. And you have a lot of doorways to avoid as you do this. But yeah, you'll run into some yellow wool at some point in time, I swear. These are certainly annoying. Wow, this really might take more than 40 minutes. Crazy. Nice. There is one more in this room. It's a little bit differently placed, though, and just works a little bit strangely. So, the warp fence is on the right here. You want to be just behind the top row on the second yellow wool back and extend it left with 2 polished andesite slabs. They should be a half a block off the ceiling. Behind that, you'll place another row of 2 that extends left an additional 1. And then you'll bring that row of 3 back an additional row that's shifted left by 1 again. And then the left 2 slabs will be brought all the way back again. And I'm actually going to go into like crawl mode on the ceiling because it'll make it easier to place. But I'll go all the way back until you yet again hit the wall. Let me not trap myself on the wrong side. That'd be pretty unfortunate. Nice. The first segment of the hallway has 2 lights. It is the... Above the, or on the ceiling here, you'll take the 4 cyan terracotta back, and you will be 2 off either side where you will place a nether brick fence with a sea lantern below. 1 will be up against the upside down slabs, 1 will be just obviously 2 off, and then again connecting the sea lanterns, surrounding them in spruce trap doors. So, you'll continue going back, and you want to be on the 3rd cyan terracotta forward from the back. 1, 2, 3. And you'll place another brick fence down here between the slabs. And then you'll place a sea lantern, which will be brought right by 2. And you won't have anything on the other side. It kind of just does whatever. Although you could place a stair there if you wanted. That is something you could absolutely do for the ones that are off a little bit. Just have like stairs every once in a while to look like they're mounted. I didn't really worry about it too much though. Get out stone stairs for a brief moment, and so if you go directly above the lever here in this next hallway segment, you're gonna be essentially a block off the ceiling, but the top block that you can, you'll place a sea lantern sticking off the wall. You'll extend it up diagonally right by 1. You will have to break something for that, and that's fine. Off either side of the sea lanterns, you'll place upside down stone stairs facing right. And then this, like... You'll replace this polished andesite slab with a stone stair. It should face into the wall, but you can't see it anyway, so I'm just not going to worry about it, because it's easier to place facing out. But, yeah. I wouldn't really spend too much time stressing over that. Nice. Carrying on. You want to head all the way back to the, like, back right-hand corner sign terracotta and count forward diagonally left by 1. Going down, place 2 nether brick fence and then 3 sea lanterns. I almost just said C3 lanterns. That's not right. You're going to place a spruce trap door off the bottom of this, and then you'll have spruce trap doors open up against the left, back, and right. The side facing the wall is the side you are leaving open here. Like so. Heading to the left, you want to be above the doorway, which is entirely gated off here, and above the rightmost yellow concrete, you'll place moving forward 3 upside down polished andesite steps, which is towards that wall. You go left 1, forward 1, and then from there, I want to say you just go all the way left. Yeah, you just go all the way left until you eventually crash into a wall. These vents may not be perfectly accurate. I tried my best, but obviously they're kind of strange, so yeah, they don't expect them to be entirely perfect. Continuing on, though, from this side here, you want to, in line with the middle of the door, you're going to have 3 sea lanterns, just kind of underneath these upside down polished andesite slabs with spruce trap doors off all sides, except for the bottom, obviously. And top, you can't. But yeah, you want this. And then again, you'll have the upside down polished andesite stairs on the sides facing away. That's how those are mounted. The next one is in the center between the, like, 4 archways just above the train track. So if I take this oak slab here and I look up, boom, I'll have that there, and then I can just place the sea lanterns and everything. Not going to go over it a ton because it is just the same light design repeated 17,000 times, but yeah. Next one is a bit different. It's kind of strange, but if you keep heading left, where this emerald block is, you're going to be off the wall by, I want to say, 2 blocks. And yeah, just before the polished andesite slabs, you'll place a nether brick fence with a lantern below it this time. You'll do a similar thing in the next segment. However, in the center, you're actually changing this upside down polished andesite slab into a block with just a lantern off of it. And in the final segment here, you'll be on the 3rd upside down slab over, where you'll replace with an upside down stair facing left. Sea lantern below, brought right by 2, and then again you'll have the same thing with the trapdoors and the other upside down stair and everything. There is another... There's just more. There's always more. If you head forward, there isn't anything in the middle here, but for this full row going across, in the very center here, again, it'll be 3 blocks off of this wall. You'll place upside down polished andesite slabs going across this entire pathway. The vents pretty much hold up every single light. It's kind of crazy. Unnecessary, but crazy. You can head back to the beginning here, and centered in this area, you'll have 3 sea lanterns. So it should be 2 off either side? Yeah. Which, the doorway counts, or the archways count as the walls in some situations like that one. Nice. The next segment is blank, but the one after that, which is kind of the final one before the train tracks, is a sea lantern, or sea lanterns in the center, the, 3 blocks, and this one's a little bit tighter, but it's fine. And then the next one would also be centered, but I'll say that again in a sec. So, again, you're centering it over the track. I think the only one that doesn't have it centered over the track would be the, one with the cart corridor sign, which I think is the next one, yeah. Nice. The next segment is, this is 6 blocks. It's going to be right of the emerald by a block, so here, and it'll be in front of the polished andesite slabs. You'll have a nether brick fence with a lantern. And then the final one over here is the 3 sea lanterns in the center, and the same thing with the trapdoors on all sides and whatnot. And then I believe you're just heading forward to where the polished blackstone slabs are, and you're placing sea lanterns off the center 3 of this particular part. There's no stairs or anything here, it's just the sea lanterns and the trapdoors. Next segment is out of the center 2, it is the leftmost one. In front of the slabs, you're placing another brick fence with a lantern below it, like so. It should be, funnily enough, a block to the right of the emerald, because the emerald here is just not even close to centered. Like, it didn't even make an attempt, to be honest. One more light before we have to do one more light after that, actually. Um, if you're in the area with the TV and stuff, you want to find the center top cyan terracotta, which is this one. You're counting this time forward by 1 and placing a nether brick fence with a lantern below. And then if you head forward a bit more to essentially go back, I guess, to the cart corridors and then head forward a segment in the center, which is in line with the emerald just on either side of the polished blackstone slabs, you'll place a nether brick fence with a sea lantern below. Connect them together, and then again surround them in spruce trapdoors. I went the wrong way, didn't I? No, I didn't. Never mind. I just lost my bearings entirely for a second there, but we're good. Get rid of any 2 things that aren't your nether brick fence and get out dark oak fence and mangrove trapdoors. We do need one other little set, but I'm not worried about that right now. Yeah, okay, that's fine. On the, essentially, if you're heading forward still towards that, you're going to look to the right and leave the first row open just beyond the archway. On the second row, you're placing a full row of nether brick fence, going floor to ceiling. Behind that, a row of dark oak fence, and then another row of nether brick fence. You're then leaving a gap of 1 and placing another row of nether brick fence with a mangrove trapdoor opened up against the fence. Not at eye level, actually, it's 1 block up, I apologize. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Andesite slabs, which we're going to use for blocks. Andesite walls. And you just want cobblestone slabs and tough slabs, which I'm actually going to leave a gap of 1 between them and the andesite stuff, and you'll see why in a second in my hotbar. Looking at the, again, door, which is where you would have entered from, just to the right of the opening, you're placing a full row of andesite walls kind of there. Around the pillars, we're doing the thing with the cobblestone and tough again. These 2 cyan terracotta pillars. So if you're looking at this one here, right of it, you're placing a slab. Again, it's either or. Then in front of that, a block in the floor. Count forward 1, left 2, and then 2 blocks in the floor. Above the rightmost block, you'll have a slab. Turn 180 degrees to look at the other pillar, and from this one, you're going to the right of it, place a slab. On either side of the kind of like inner corner here, you'll place slabs again with blocks below them. And then bring those blocks kind of in, well, I guess connect them together where the iron is there. And also extend them back by 1 here on the left. From that block, go back diagonally right with a slab again. Head back to the cart corridors, or the I guess segment with the cart corridors sign at the top, and head to the left into this area. And so above this vent, or I guess off this upside down polished deepside slab, you're placing an upside down andesite slab. Extend it from this angle right by 1, and then you'll have a slab on top of either of them, like so. From the upside down row of slabs, you'll place a block to the right. Slab to the right of that block with another block below. So, for the vents, these are fairly easy. We essentially just have to run around and find them. That's pretty much how this works. So you want to get out polished deep slate slabs, monster spawners, stone stairs, black concrete, sea lanterns, and glow item frames. And we might need polished deep slate stairs or something, but I'll get there when I get there. I just want to kind of go through the vents as we find them. So this one here that the room that we're in, if you take the polished deep slate on the floor, you want to extend it backwards by 4, so just kind of out. You'll extend this one left by 4, along with right by 2. You'll then go up diagonally right with slabs and then right with blocks. And you're going to do this a total of 4 times. So you have 8 kind of inclination blocks or whatever in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you'll end on a block that's 1 block away from the wall, funnily enough. And from that block, you can actually extend it right by 1 into the wall. And then I would break the 2 yellow wool above it, place an opposite on polished deep slate slab at the top. For these, generally they're not going to be centered, so on the other side here, I would just replace this with yellow wool rather than using polished deep slate, so it's all consistent. But, yeah. These are annoying, I'm not going to lie, because of, well, a couple things, but for one, the ceiling is going to be essentially upside down slabs, so you're saying a block and a half above the bottom at all times. Now, when you're going right here, you're going to place one upside down slab to the right, and then you're going to just do the up diagonally right thing again that we did on the bottom, except it is inverted. And then once you reach this upside down slab, you should be able to bring it right by 2 to connect. Before we fill in the walls, a couple things. The center directly behind where you would enter the vent, this block here, just like, I guess this kind of intersection block, you'll place a sea lantern just behind it, up a block with a glow item frame off of it. The third polished deep slate to the left, you'll extend up with 2 monster spawners. You'll have to break this upside down slab, and you'll just place a block above it so it doesn't shine through. Left of that row, you'll place some upside down stone stairs facing forward or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then you can black those off there on the left. From that point, the walls are just polished deep slate. And we gotta do this like 16 more times. Not really. It's not that many. It's, I think, like 5, maybe? I don't know. They're really just so you don't soft lock yourself. That's like the only reason they're here. And I mean, they do their job, so... That would be unfortunate if the game had a puzzle that if you just did it wrong, you got soft locked. Portal reference, I guess? Except Portal actually untraps you. They're not true soft locks at that point, I guess. Although I'm assuming there are some that aren't. I would, as per usual, recommend covering all the upside down slabs and stuff. Nice. The next one I want to focus on is... essentially straight across from the end here. There should be one on this little part of the loop. It should be on the back here. And yeah, you kind of see where it is. And so this polished deep slate block here, you will extend back, or I guess out by 2. Then left by 2. And then do the same thing with the incline that should go up 8 times. Make sure this is a block. Yeah, it is a block. So just, you know, slab, block, slab, block, slab, block, slab, block. And then you'll just connect left by 2. As per usual, you're breaking this yellow wool, probably filling this portion with yellow. And then you can do the ceiling, which essentially it just goes 1 block further on both the top and bottom. Or... It's essentially the same pattern, just pushed to the right by a block, or towards the bottom. So like you see here, I'll go left by 1, and then I should start here. And I should line up perfectly because I went 1 further there. And you see I do. Nice. This one also has 2 things going on, but they're a little bit different. Well, at the bottom, just behind the beginning block here, this intersection, you'll have the sea lantern with the glow item frame again. From the top, though, this row of 4 upside down slabs... out of the... it's technically 5, so it would be the middle one you're going to break and replace with a monster spawner. You'll have 2 slabs visible on the right and 1 on the left, but you do go further. And actually, the monster spawner will be a block up. I apologize. You'll have, I guess, just a stone stair above it. Stone block would be preferred. Actually, we have an inventory slot, so I'll get out a stone block and use that. And then off the sides of the monster spawner, you'll place polished deep slate. Yet again, fill in the sides of the vents with polished deep slate. These ones are basic. I feel like there's only... I don't think there's that many more. This section was so confusing to make, though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had 0 understanding as to how it lined up originally when I started building it, but I do have a better understanding now, obviously, because I did build it. But, yeah, it was still confusing. So the next one... should just be on the opposite loop, right? Is it the last one? I think it's the last one, yeah. Which is good. I don't like making these vents. This one is, I know, definitely different, because I remember it having... like, it ends on a slab or something, but you'll take this polished deep slate here. It's essentially the opening here, just to the left of it, right here. You can see where I am, the, like, gated off hallway will be over there. So from this polished deep slate block, you'll extend back by 4. You'll then extend right by 2. And you'll do the slab thing again. But this time 7 times, so you'll end on a sub. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're just going up diagonally, right with a slab, right with a block, up diagonally, right with a slab, etc. 7 times in total. And then that end slab you'll actually bring right by 2, which you will have to break the wall for. You can break a block above that as well, and then a block above that you'll place going out at the ceiling 3 polished deep slate. And so, yet again, you're just making sure the ceiling aligns properly with the same diagonal starting where we just were, and then going down until you have an upside-down slab that is a block and a half above the row of blocks. I know it's kind of weird, but yeah. This one just has 2 lights. That's really the only thing fancy. If you take the first slab at the very tippy top here, behind it you'll place a polished deep slate with a sea lantern on top. And don't forget the glow item frame. And then there's one in the same spot as there always has been, just kind of beyond the start here. Sea lantern, glow item frame. Yet again, the sides are polished deep slate, and maybe you should consider blocking off these slabs from the top so they don't shine through with light. And yeah. That's everything other than texturing and the fun little room done. We're going to focus on texturing first, though. Yeah, I'm sorry, this one is going to go long as well. I didn't intend for that, but, like, I screwed myself over by making the last one go so long. So, as for the texturing, the area beyond, like, here doesn't actually get anything, except for one portion, which we're not worried about just yet. But for the cyan terracotta, there's 2 layers of texturing going on. You want the following blocks for them. Actually, there's kind of 3, but one isn't on it. So you want deep slate bricks, cracked deep slate bricks, cobbled deep slate, gray concrete pattern, and then you want the following buttons. You just want dark oak and polished blackstone, actually. So on each of these cyan terracotta segments, except for, again, these back 2, but they have, like, one part of this, you're just texturing with the following blocks in the order I gave you them. Deep slate bricks, a little bit, not much. Cracked deep slate bricks, cobbled deep slate, and then some gray concrete pattern. The part of it that does go on the other cyan terracotta is, and this doesn't include the ceiling, by the way, the ceiling stays blank. You're, from the top, doing the kind of droopy pattern with the gray concrete pattern. You're doing like 1, 0, 2 rows, whatever, just kind of going along the top like so. I'll actually leave that one a cobble deep, so I think that'll look better. It doesn't matter if it breaks up like that, that is okay. The dark oak buttons and polished blackstone buttons, you kind of want to just place them, like a few of them kind of coming out of the wall where it is, just like so. Maybe even, I'll move that one, I think. You don't want a ton. Just kind of some, like so. You know, 7 or 8 buttons maybe at most. And yeah, you're doing that with every single cyan terracotta segment. Again, except for these, but these do get the gray concrete pattern at the top. That goes all the way around. The archways are untextured. The yellow wool is textured the same way as the top of the cyan terracotta with the yellow concrete pattern. So you're just going a few blocks down, you know, just kind of going around here. Just doing that. And yeah, you want to do this with the entirety of cart corridors. The other thing is the floor, the block of iron. You want to, I mentioned this with the gated off hallway, you want to do block of gold, and you want some to be singular blocks of gold, you want some to be in little, like, splotches like this even, like little patterns, and you kind of want to just go all the way around. You want to do more than you're probably doing with the blocks in the polished diorite floors with the, like, red, yellow, and blue. I think more makes sense here. I did more a lot, and the gold obviously looks better as well because it's tiled, which is kind of one of the big things that makes me not want to do too many of the concretes because I don't like them not being tiled. Obviously, I could use, like, redstone, but redstone looks terrible. But, yeah, just kind of going like this all the way around, and, yeah, again, you want to do that all the way through as well. And that's all of that, so, I'd recommend doing that and then coming back, and we can finish this off. Hopefully this will take, like, 10 minutes max, but probably not. So, I love how I, like, pretended like I was going to segment it off. I'm not. You want to get out to start. We're not even going to worry about this. We're just going to get berry and stuff in. You want to get out nether brick fence, sea lanterns, spruce trap doors, and for Barry himself, you want warp slabs, wither skeleton skulls, bamboo fence gate, glow item frames, block of coal, and a warp sign. So in this area, first off, one block beyond where the vent is on the left, you're going to be in the center and you'll place a nether brick fence. Leave a gap of one moving back and place another nether brick fence with a sea lantern below either connected together. Spruce trap doors going around the whole thing. In line with the vent on the tracks, you're going to place an upside down warp slab like a half a block above the... It'd be a full block above the oak slab, technically, like so. Place a warp slab on top and then extend either of these back by one. Place wither skeleton skulls off the left and the right of the upside down warp slabs, like so. You could also try to place them off of the polished deep slate. They won't connect, though, either way, pretty much. You'll have some sort of a gap, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Off the, upside down warp slab at the bottom, you'll place a bamboo fence gate opened into it. Above it, you want a warp sign. Go down a line, type in all caps, berry, spelled like so. It's an A, not an E. We're not talking about, strawberries. Left and right of that top warp slab, you'll place glow item frames with block of coal in them. Can you place it to the back? You can. That's weird. That's not particularly something you should be concerned about, but I just kind of was curious. Get out really quickly white dye and glow ink sac. Doesn't matter what you get rid of, and just place them both on that sign, and then you can clear your inventory. This will, again, be a little bit annoying, but you're just going to have to kind of trust the process as we go about. You want to start by getting out polished deep slate stairs, oak slabs, polished basalt, cobbled deep slate, cobbled deep slate walls, monster spawners? That might be important. Sorry, I was focused on something else that I was just noticing. Black concrete. So sidetracked. Redstone torches and stone buttons. So from these back polished deep slate stairs here, you want to place another one back on either side with the oak slab in the middle. Behind those, you're placing upside down polished deep slate stairs facing back with polished deep slate stairs on top. You're copying that moving up 15 more times with just these. So one more, essentially you're going up diagonally back with 15 stairs with upside down stairs underneath. So 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is so bad. Yeah, just like so. And you're doing that with both, as I mentioned. Yeah, okay, this will definitely be 45, 50, but it shouldn't be much longer than last part, at least. As long as I don't go over an hour. It's kind of my threshold number, an hour. I still don't want to go over 49, frankly, but if it happens, it happens. Not much I can do. Nice. You'll connect each of the top polished deep slate stairs together with oak slabs, just because on the diagonal you have the gaps anyway, and if you just skip every other, it's gonna look way too spread out. Nice. Left and right of each of those polished deep slate stairs, or I guess outside, you're placing upward facing polished basalt. I'm just gonna place a placeholder below and then remove it after because, yeah, I guess, I don't know. You do need to bring these down eventually, but I don't know if I'll do that in this particular video just to keep it shorter. Plus, it's the same thing as the one in musical memory was. Just this one actually has a track, which does make our life a bit easier. rather than no track. Although I wish it had a floor like the one you send Barry down. From the bottom ones, that's so awkward. Get rid of your polished deep-set stairs and oak slabs and get out a block of iron and polished blackstone buttons. And just bring the iron back by a block on either side. From these polished basalts, you go kind of forward diagonally out with another polished basalt, and this one you can connect up to where the ceiling would kind of be. There isn't actually one, but it's okay. You, I guess, extend them up an additional one so they're in line with the cyan terracotta, and then bring them in with an upward-facing polished basalt, which you'll need to do some placeholders for. Bring those polished basalt up diagonally back the same way you did with the bottom ones until you're at the same distance back. And they should be in line with them. As far as, like, left to right, I guess. And, yeah. I don't know why we're doing this one so much differently, but... oh well. I guess it's not necessarily a terrible thing. And then I'll have to break all these again, because, you know... so annoying. I have to place the placeholders either way, even if they weren't specific to direction, but whatever. So... from the bottom polished basalt, we're going to do the same thing we normally do, where you're going to just count up and bring certain ones up. So the first one you're leaving open, second one you're extending up till it connects to the other one. You're then leaving 5 open or counting 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one I'll bring up. You're then counting back 3, so it'll be a gap of 2. And then it should be a gap of 4 or counting back by 5, and it'll be the last one you're connecting. Nice. Off of the front of each polished basalt, you're placing a polished blackstone button. At least the ones that you can, obviously. Which is these... essentially all the strips and then the bottom diagonal. Huh. I never considered that you could speed place buttons. You have to be crouching when you do it, which is why I guess going down is... yeah, like, I can't go... I mean, I did a little bit. It just wasn't exactly perfect. But I did do it going upwards, so... yeah, it still might not be perfect. I got a feeling that every once in a while it'll launch it to a different block. Like ladders do. That bothers me so much. Like... something like ladders where when you're slash filling them, it just, like, jumps to the block on the other side. I think I've had that happen in this tutorial. Maybe not. Have I used ladders in this? I don't know if I have. Anyway. Each polished basalt diagonal at the top, you're going to extend up by just 1. And it'll just make it a little bit thicker. And then you'll take the top polished basalt on where each of these strips are and just connect it across left to right. Should be like... it's not that many. It's like 3, I think. Or 4. Counting is hard. The top polished basalt and all the other diagonals will just be monster spawners connecting across. That should be familiar. There's, again, pipes above these. I noticed it, I think, in the berry one. But I just didn't bother because... no. It's just no. You can barely see them anyway, and it'll just be like strips of random blocks, so... and then again, you'll place black concrete off each of the monster spawners, just so you cannot see through them. Again, unless you wanted to add the little pipes and stuff, then be my guest, but... I just didn't see that much of an extent worth it. Left and right, you're filling in the sides with the cobbled deep slate blocks and walls pattern. Now, you are going to have to go behind, like, most of the pillars for this, because essentially you're taking the pillar here on the left and right that is already out of block, and you're placing walls behind it. And so any polished basalt, like, above and below, you'll just, you know, bring out so it covers it. And then you'll place cobbled deep set on the next row, and then walls, and then you're just going all the way up doing this. And I'm gonna, yeah, I'll place all the walls and stuff first. This is annoying regardless, but, was it 2 up? Yeah, 2 up. 2 up and in line with the bottom. And if you do ever end up having a like wall row that would be in line with, like, see this pillar here? I'm just gonna skip it because who cares? No one will see it anyway. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm like really having to think for this. Because of how high or low you need to do it. You can do it without thinking as much as I am. I'm just trying to not underfill or overfill and just kind of, you know, get it done. Which is just making me use my 15 brain cells just a little bit more than normal, so... It is 15, I counted. That's a joke, by the way. I mean, it might be. I don't really know. Well, I feel like it generally should be more than that. I'm not a brain cell expert or anything. But I do feel like if you had 15 brain cells, you'd probably not be alive. It just, the number 15 does not seem like a lot of brain cells for how many things are in our brain. It's a scary thing to say, how many things are in our brain. I don't mean like bad things. I mean like, you know, what are those things called? Neurons, I want to say? I'm so out of the loop right now. Science. But yeah, anyway. And that'll be your walls done, and then we'll almost be done. Just there is a large fill at the end, but again, I'm not really going to be concerned about that because who cares? Nice. Should be looking good. You can texture these if you want. I didn't texture any of them. So there are lights, and they are weird. If you head beyond the first pillars that are in, you want to head just before the second one of the last row of cobbled deep slate blocks that you can. You're going to be on the fourth one down from the top on the right side, and you'll place a redstone torch. You'll then count back 2 pillars from that, and on the polished basalt pillar on the left, you're going to be on the 5th down from the top, so this is the top one here, and then 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down, 5th down, redstone torch there on the left. Opposite of both of those, where the redstone torch would be on the other side, you're going to place a stone button, because they're there, they're just burnt out or something, or not on. So, from this point, you can get rid of, like, your stone buttons or whatever and get out stone, and head to the outside, and you want to take this stone here, and you should have 2 rows already. Bring it down as far as you want. I'm going to bring it down not that far for the intentions of this. From the bottom row or down diagonally, I'll place black concrete that'll go all the way back until I'm 1 further back than the rails there. If you can't measure it perfectly, that's fine, just estimate it. Because what you can do instead is head to the top, and essentially from this polished basalt, you'll place a row of black concrete down diagonally back, and just bring this all the way down, and kind of connect the 2 points. And yeah, I was a block off, but that's still pretty good. From this point, you're taking the polished basalt on the left and right, and you're extending it all the way down with upward-facing polished basalt until you fill in the sides. I'm not going to worry about this, but I'd recommend doing this. The other thing, before I end, cobbled deep slate walls you want blocks off the outside of. 2 reasons. 1, it gives it a little bit more texture, and 2, it blocks off the light from shining through. But yeah, I'm not going to do all this. As you can see, it's pretty much just this for a lot. And yeah, just kind of check, make sure there's no gaps, make sure you're not trapped outside like I am. But yeah, just confirm for gaps and everything. And, yeah, I believe once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, the entire 2nd segment complete. And it's like part, it's like 37 or something, I don't remember, 37 or 35. I think it's 37. Either way, thank you all so much if you guys did enjoy this video. If you do have anything exciting to share, let me know. And again, I apologize you just got hit with back-to-back really long videos. You know, it just kind of happens sometimes. But anyway, that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night. And I will see you on the next one. It took my emoji. I should have checked that. I was going to check it, and I was like, nah, I'll be fine. Peace.